Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming. This afternoon, this press conference has been called that we might update you on the police officer involved vehicle collision that happened on last evening. Mayor Fisher and Chief Conrad will be making statements. They will not be taking questions, but making statements in regard to this. First, I'd like to introduce the Mayor of Louisville, Greg Fisher.
Well, today is a sad day as our entire city mourns the loss of Officer Nick Rodman. He gave his life. He paid the ultimate sacrifice, protecting the citizens of Louisville. He was a man of compassion and commitment, a dedicated law enforcement professional, and a loving husband, a father, a friend, a co-worker, and a wonderful public servant. Officer Rodman's death is a painful reminder of the risk and dangers our LMPD officers face every day, every hour on the job. They put their lives on the line for us. They are underappreciated. And sometimes, tragically, they pay the ultimate price as they work to keep us safe. Our thoughts and prayers go to Officer Rodman's entire family, his wife Ashley, his son Mason, newborn daughter Ellie Jean, as well as his mom Linda, and his dad, Officer George Rodman, and his brother, Officer Andy Rodman. The Rodmans are one of our great LMPD police families. This is a difficult day for all men and women, and especially those in public safety. I give my thoughts and prayers to Nick's platoon brothers and sisters, to 1st Division Major Andrea Brown, Chief Conrad, and all LMPD officers as they mourn their brother's death. We will be holding a ceremony to honor the life of Officer Nick Rodman tomorrow at 10 a.m. at the Police Memorial in Jefferson Square Park. We will also be lowering flags at half-mast for all Louisville Metro properties, and I encourage all citizens to do the same. Additionally, the Big Four Bridge will be lit in blue in remembrance of Nick's life and service. Please pray for Nick and his family. Now, Chief Steve Conrad.
Mayor, thank you for sharing that information about Officer Rodman and his family. This is truly a sad day for our department. Nick is only the second officer lost in the line of duty during the history of the LMPD. Nick, as the mayor mentioned, is a part of George Rodman's legacy. George is a police officer that works in our training division, and he's been there for many years and has had the opportunity to train many classes of police officers. His impression and his guidance has led many a young officer out there, including his sons, Andy and Nick. Nick died doing what he wanted to do. He died doing what he was born to do, serving this community. And we are beholden to him for the sacrifice that he made. We truly lost a good man, and over the next few days, I hope that everyone in this community gets an opportunity to learn just who Nick Rodman was and what great things he did for this community. In his short 3 years and about 3 months with this department, he made an amazing difference. He was very involved, a very active officer, working in one of the busiest divisions on the busiest shift. If there was something going on, Nick was in the middle of it. That was the kind of police officer Nick was. To give you a little bit of what happened. Last evening, at about 7:54, we received a call of shots fired in the vicinity of 26th and Madison Streets. A few seconds later, we got another call that people were arguing there in the middle of that intersection. We received a third call that shots were being fired in that area. Then we finally received a call from a woman who reported that she was being assaulted, or she had just been assaulted by the father of her child. The first officer on the scene contacted the woman and put out a description of the vehicle. First Division officers came into the area, and one of the First Division officers spotted the vehicle near the intersection of 22nd and Madison and attempted to conduct a traffic stop. Unfortunately, the driver chose to flee and led the officer, along with 3 other officers from the 1st Division, in what amounted to a high-speed pursuit. The pursuit continued from the intersection of 22nd and Madison northbound on 22nd Street into the Portland neighborhood. As the driver of that vehicle that was being pursued was approaching the intersection of 26th and Duncan Streets, Officer Nick Rodman was driving westbound on Duncan. He had his lights and sirens on in an effort to join in the effort to capture the man who was fleeing. He entered the intersection, again with lights and sirens on, and he also had the green light, and attempted to make a left turn onto 26th Street. At that same time, the driver of the other car entered the intersection and struck Officer Rodman's car. It was a very violent and very severe collision. Both vehicles were severely damaged, and Officer Rodman and the driver of the other car were both injured. Officer Rodman's car was on fire. Officers, as they arrived, were able to get Officer Rodman out of the vehicle, and rather than waiting for EMS, they transported him directly to the hospital. EMS did arrive shortly thereafter and transported the suspect to the hospital as well. The suspect is still at University Hospital. He is being treated for his injuries. Once he is released, he will be booked on a number of charges, including assault, second-degree domestic violence, possession of a handgun by a convicted felon, wanton endangerment first degree, fleeing and evading the police, and assault fourth degree involving domestic violence. Nick was treated here at University of Louisville Hospital. He underwent a number of surgeries. The surgeons here, both the trauma surgeon and the neurosurgeons that worked on his head injury, did a phenomenal job of trying to save Nick's life. And they were still trying procedures as late as this afternoon, trying to save him. And unfortunately, they weren't able to do so. Nick passed today at 3:40 p.m. Nick is a hero. He will never be forgotten. The arrangements for his funeral are obviously still pending. This is obviously a line of duty death, and we will ensure that we do all that we can to honor the wishes of Nick's family and to honor the sacrifice that Nick made for this community. Thank you for being here today.
Good job, Chief.
into Mayor Greg Fisher and Police Chief Steve Conrad, giving a sad update to a situation that started last night, Vicki, and moved into this morning and the later part of this afternoon.
Louisville Metro Police Officer Nick Rodman passed away at 3:40 this afternoon after a high-speed chase involving another driver who was also injured but is expected to live. And the police chief just said that as soon as he leaves University Hospital, he will be facing several charges there. The Big Four Bridge will be lit tonight in blue in honor of Officer Rodman. There will also be a ceremony honoring his life at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.